Hello and welcome. This is Julie Silver Stitches here on FlossTube and on Instagram. Welcome. It is August 23rd, 2026 at, I don't know, like 10 o'clock at night. Hello. Okay, so are you ready? Am I ready? That's the real question. Charlotte, are you lying on it? Yes, Mummy. Yes, I am. Okay, so this is lace, by the way. Lace and lace on the, who knows. Anyways, my sister's shirt. Not mine. I adopted it. Okay, so are you ready? I worked on 3 projects this week. Just 3. I think I know all the stats. Let's get my tablet out just in case. So, I worked on Pokemon Starters. Pokemon Starters is my gridiron grind piece. My gridiron grind piece is an idea from Kim Hollenbeck. Now that I know how to say her name. Hollenbeck. Anyway, what are we doing? Going to Notions. Okay, so I put in 224 stitches into Pokemon Starters. Pokemon Starters is by Cross and Floss on Etsy. There it is. Okay, here we go. Let's do some folding. It is now at... That's what I have to wait for. I can tell you it's at like 45.47%, if I can remember that. And it is now at, you'd think I'd be ready because this is my like 10th time filming this, but I'm not. How's everybody doing? Today is August 23rd, like I just said. So 224 stitches, leaving me at 8,424. Even though all these grass guys are important, I worked on the fire. So this is my whole stitching so far at 45.64%. I ended up working in the fire section. So I finished Cyndaquil's head. I worked on Cyndaquil's body. I think this is some spikes on Cyndaquil's back, like the fire spikes. Torchic's head. This is the foot, I'm pretty sure, of Charmander. And I think that might have been it. So 224 stitches at 8,424, so 45.64%. So I will tell you all about my plans this week for this when I get there. All right, up after that, I worked on my wheel pieces. I have already erased my wheel pieces because I thought it was good. I have a cold. I was very sniffly. I had a shower. And I also replaced my shower curtain, so my arms are absolutely on fire. But something tells me I just need to keep pushing forward and keep doing things that I would have normally done, even though my frozen shoulder is getting better. Slowly. It's a slow process. All right, but anyway, this is, next up is 500 stitches were put into White Mandala 3 by Open. Good grief. Memory. Magnolia Handcraft. So, 500 stitches got put into this. It's looking fantastic. One of my friend's daughters said, "Can I have that when you're done? And can you put blue and pink around the outside?" No, I cannot. You can have it when I'm done, but no, you may not have it with blue and pink on the outside because currently it is purple and green. Anyway, I love it. Look how cool that looks. That looks so cool. Yes, only one color. It is 4505 by Dimensions. 14 count fiddler's cloth in oatmeal. This one is kind of wonky because these are not counted right. This row, these two baubles of those. So it looks a little, but it's also sideways, like it's also on an angle, so who knows. But yes, 500 stitches. So I finished this round, and then I started up on this round. Yay! Yay. That was very exciting. Up next is going to be Hazel. I spent the majority of the week doing this in one color. Up next is Hazel's World Giraffe. This is by Dakota Gatewaller of Heaven and Earth Design. As most people know, she is retired from Heaven and Earth Design. You can get her full chart of this on Charting Creations. So, right now, I put in 306 stitches, bringing me to 12,306. So I was at 12,000. Simon and Charlotte, nope, just Simon, maybe and Skitters are going to be running, so we'll see how that goes. But I finished I finished the threads that I had for this diagonal. I started this diagonal, got ridiculously frustrated. I am no longer parking sideways. I am just parking down now because I can't do it. It completely mixed me up. I don't know what happened. Anyways, so I was at the trailer today, started and finished this stripe of 518 because that was what was in my pencil case. Started some of this 3842 because, again, that's what was in my pencil case. I didn't bring any extra floss this weekend to the trailer. We were only there for 24 hours. And yeah, I just grabbed my next two projects. So I finished off White Mandala 3, and then I started in on this one. Whatever that one is. Hazel's World Giraffe. I think it's called QS World. No, maybe? I don't actually know the actual name of it. Okay, anyway, regardless. So that was all my stitching for the week. If I total up my stitches, I think it was only like 1,030 maybe. There's a little bug on my screen. Okay, anyways. Okay, so let's spin for, actually, before I go on. So 224 stitches were put into Pokemon starters for Gridiron Grind. I don't watch football. I'm following the Cincinnati Bengals just because the top Canadian player is on that team. Anyway, this is where we're at. This week, I need to put in 243 because they just played the Bears yesterday on the 22nd. They scored 27-9. They won 27-9. So 27 times 9 is 243 apparently, says my calculator. And so that is the goal for every piece this week. 243 stitches. I know that goes against all of my rounding up to the 100 or 1,000 or 500 or whatever it is, but right now it doesn't matter anymore. Okay, so let's start out with the categories. So the categories from Jen the Caffeinated Crafter is Santa this week. I'm trying to accommodate all of the categories into this, not this pattern, but this is the book. This pattern, A is for Apple by Sharon Pope. And I have the sniffles, but I'm just going to ignore it until it gets really bad. Anyway, what I'm going to do is J is for Jingle, because you know why? Santa has jingle bells. The sled has jingle bells. We're going with it. Okay, because everything else on that chart is not Santa-ish related. So, what am I talking about? This is A is for Apple by Sharon Pope. It is on... I have the border done, and I have all of the blocks outlined. I just need Oh, no. Well, okay, well, I will backstitch, I guess. J is for jingle, because all the rest of the stitching is done. So what I'm talking about is this one. So I just need to actually just backstitch. But that's okay, that takes enough time. So this is what the goal is this week. This is going to be backstitched. And I guess in reality, if I wanted to, I could also finish... Oh, look, that's ice cream. Santa eats ice cream. Anyway, does he? Good question. Anyway, so those are the two definite. Let's figure out how many more. How many more should we do this week? Any ideas? Me neither. Okay, so if I do those two... Let's spin the wheel for another 9. Let's spin the wheel for another 9 and try and put 243 stitches into everything. Good luck, Julie. That'll be a good luck, Julie situation. Okay. But it's better than 500, I'd say. Okay, so we're going to turn down the brightness, apparently, so that there is little to no glare. I did delete all of the paper patterns because those weren't going to end up happening. So, good enough? Not quite. It's got to be all the way down, eh? Better? Oops. Well, except for the glare, kind of better. Okay. Oh, jeez, that's loud. Okay, the wise and the brave. You know why it's so loud? Because I was just watching Jen, the caffeinated crafter. All right. The W and the brave. Okay. Oh, jeebers. Yeeks. Okay, up next is... What? Why? A stupid banana. What? Okay, that's a lie. Let's reset the wheel, because do you know why? There was already something erased. So it wasn't a fair trial. Okay. Turn down the volume a little bit because holy loud. Okay, here we are. Hi, Simon. You're gonna jump up right when I need you to jump up. Alright, fairy tale. Let's start with that one. Hop up. Hop up, silly boy. Alright, fairy tale. Would you like to see Simon while he's kind of still here? Let's see if I can get him. Oof. Hoocha. There he is. Hey, Simon. What are you doing? Why are your paws wet? Where did you come from? Hey. Hi, everybody. He says, get me out of here. Oh, little boy. All right, there you go. See you later. Okay, fairy tale. All right, what's next? Sad fairy. What? It's on there? Let's see if I can do it. Okay. Next is... Oh, Celestial Forest Hills Landscape. Celestial Forest Hills Landscape. CHCFHL. Alright, next is Spiral Spectrum Heart. SSH. I'm writing this all sideways. Alright. SSH. Let's see when I go back to all of my designs that I will be able to figure out what all of the letters mean. Beginner Seashell. BS. Breaking Free. BF. Good thing things are different letters. A very fine line. Good. The Wise and the Brave. The Wise and the Brave. Okay. 2, 4, 6, 7. 2 more. Sunflower Cottage. Excellent. Apparently I had to write that whole one out. Last one is, let's see if I can get it to stitch on it this week, is Forever Friends. Okay. Alright, let's see if I can find all those. So, Fairy Tale is in this bag, I already know. Fairy Tale is by Dimensions. It is, I found it on Etsy as a digital chart, but I do have the whole kit. So I'm going to try and put, oopsies, oh bananas. I'm going to try and put 253 stitches into this. Hey Simon. Okay. Gosh. So disastrous. Okay, like I see, I started the diagonal, so we'll see how that goes. I don't know what's going to happen. Anyway. And then, oh, I did not show you what it looked like. I have the actual picture here. It's kind of folded. Anyway, this is Fairy Tale, if you've never seen it. Gold collection. Alright. Sad Fairy is next. Sorry, that's the only one in the bag. Okay, Sad Fairy is the big monstrous of the fabric. Sad Fairy by Elena Lazareva is this one. So we're going to try for, what, 243 stitches. So I'll just probably still work in here. If I don't feel like it, I'll just probably add another diagonal or a part of a diagonal. This one was over here. So, oh, that's not it. That's a lie. That's the bananas. Is it? Sorry. Here it is. Celestial Forest, Mini Celestial Forest Hills Landscape. It is by Artisy. And here we are. I'll zoom in on what I've actually worked on. That's that, 243. SH. Oh. Spiral Spectrum Heart is in this bag already. So I am still just working across the top. And here we are, Spiral Spectrum Heart. Ooh, gosh. I just have the fabric rolled up. I'll just keep it in this bag. Beginner Seashell by Kayomi Harai. It's this one. Oh, Spiral Spectrum Heart was by Just So Beautiful. And there we go. Breaking Free is next. Breaking Free is by Ciro Marchetti of Heaven and Earth Design. This is the mini Breaking Free. The mini version. So that is about just past halfway, I think. I hope. Because There's not enough fabric. All right, bring free. The Wise and the Brave is next. Now having my sniffles. I need that out anyway. Okay. Do I need to pause? Is it annoying enough? I need this one out too. Of course, it's the only one that I haven't pulled out yet. Nope. Aha. It's all the same fabric. Okay. Wise and the Brave by L&L Design of Heaven and Earth Designs. It is the 2026 stitch along. Sunflower Cottage is next. Sunflower Cottage is next. It is by Donna Gelsinger of Heaven and Earth Design. Goodness me. I have made it all the way across the top, but I have not made it all across down. So we're still playing with big fabric. And Forever Friends by Oleg Gavrilov of Heaven and Earth Design. This is where we're at. This is the only one that I started in the right-hand corner. Alright, so let's see. Let's see if I can put 243 stitches into all of those things. I know this was a short video. My nose is about to but I'll be right back. Okay, so that's all the works in progress that I'm going to work on this coming week. Okay, so let's talk about my week because I was only able to just put in just over 1,000 stitches this week. So Monday was normal. Tuesday, I get a phone call from James's mom, my mother-in-law, and she says, "Come help me, I need your help right now. To move a carpet off a counter, we need to measure it." Okay, cool. Do that. At the same point in time frame, I get a message from my aunt saying, "What are you doing on Saturday?" About an hour later, I get a message from my dad saying, "We are in town. Can we come meet you on Saturday?" They don't live in the area. They live in Las Vegas. I live in Eastern Ontario, Canada. So, yeah, sure. Saturday works. Okay, so get that all set up. Not a problem. Tuesday night, go to work. Wednesday, go to Ashley's like I normally do. Like, go to my friend's house like I normally do. Stay overnight. This time James comes. Hooray. Anyway, so there's Simon. Hi, Simon. Whoops. I'm on screen. Anyways, go to my friend's place overnight. One more Wednesday before school starts, so that's exciting. Excuse me. So James went, we came home, did lawns on Friday, went to breakfast at a really great restaurant on Saturday with my aunt, my dad, their other halves. Called it a day. Went to the trailer, had dinner. So went out for breakfast, socialized for a couple hours, went to the trailer. Nope, did laundry first, went to the trailer, and then had dinner, and then essentially crashed because, and then it rained all day today, so I stitched. That's when I did the remaining stitches for White Mandala 3 and the other ones for the 306 on Hazel. So, but I didn't have any thread. Like, I didn't bring any extra of my DMC, so I just used whatever was in my pencil case. My pencil case is where I have my scissors and my needles and my hole punch, just in case I want to make thread cards. Anyway, and then a whole lot of thread that I just haven't filed away in my systems yet. So, did that. Came home. And now we're here. Yeah, so it's been a little bit of a busier week, but at the same point, not really. But it did take me almost all that time to do the 500 on What Mandala 3. It was just a lot of counting, recounting. Even though it was only one color, there was definitely a lot of like back and forth. Is this go here? Does this go here? I am not a non-full coverage stitcher. But then at the same point, you can say that I'm not even a full coverage stitcher because do you know what happened to what I just had in my hands? What did I just do? For reals? Anyway, on Hazel, I had to rip out a whole part because I'm no longer parking sideways, as I said. I'm just parking down. Skitters is having, like, the zoomies, so if you hear him run and crash into anything, that's why. Yeah, so I had to rip out probably about 30 stitches, 30, 40 stitches. It's fine, whatever. Because the one section wasn't in the right space, which is fine. Past Julie. Sorry, I just watching cats. Okay, past Julie didn't count. Wow, there he goes. Past Julie didn't count properly and line it all up properly, so therefore it didn't come out properly when I started stitching. Anyway, Simon and Charlotte are playing. Skitters and Charlotte are playing. Charlotte is looking around the room looking for Skitters. It's pretty cute. Anyways, I'm going to leave you there. So hopefully I can get to everything. If not, then c'est la vie. We have both a doctor's appointment tomorrow. James has a diabetes appointment. I've got a physio appointment. Like I said, my frozen shoulder is doing much better. There's the Zoomy boy. And maybe 1 or 2 more sessions. I don't really know. Of physio, and then we'll see how it goes. But it's been since like January, so I am over it. I want to be able to use my shoulder, use my arm. That's why I was doing the shower curtain today, because I was like, that's it. I have to change it because it's ridiculous. Anyway, I have to be able to use my arms. So that aside, I don't think anything else super exciting is happening this week except for James's birthday on Friday. So yes, and plus the Bengals play on Friday, so I need to get the 243 on that at least done before Friday, which is okay because I'm pretty sure I can do it. And I think that's it. So I have 3 cats not looking at me, but definitely in my vicinity, which are not normal. I think I need to give them food, and we need to get this edited, and it might come up on Monday, but chances are it won't. It will most likely come up today. So I will say have a great night and sparkle and shine. I hope everybody enjoyed whatever they were working on, and I will see everybody in the next video. Bye, everybody.